Have you ever felt the energy shift when you enter a room? People smiling with their mouths, but their eyes saying something else. You're not imagining it. When your spirit awakens, it doesn't just attract light, it exposes shadows. In this video, you'll discover the 9 subtle signs someone is envious of your path, and why that envy means you're stepping into your true power. But be warned, once you see it, you can't unsee it. There are moments when the soul begins to shine brighter, and that brilliance, though divine, can awaken shadows in others. In these silences of the soul, some may begin to act as if you don't exist, as though your light threatens their illusion of control. What appears as disregard is often the echo of insecure behaviors clashing against your spiritual awakening. Beneath that silence, there's movement, jealousy disguised in stillness, envy hiding behind passive smiles. They might subtly deflect your presence, undervaluing your efforts, belittling you in spaces where your spirit was meant to flourish. This isn't a reflection of your worth, but of their fear, an internal storm fighting against the calm you've begun to radiate. In truth, their attempts to ignore or blame are rites of resistance. They're drawn to your transformation, yet feel unprepared to witness it. So they retreat, masked in undermining attitudes that try to chain you to their comfort zone. But remember, a star doesn't argue with the night, it simply continues to shine. Spiritual practice. Suggestion: sit in meditation under the moonlight. Feel the presence of those who doubt you and silently release them into the stars. Your light is not theirs to dim. Community call. Have you ever felt unseen by those you loved just as you began to grow? Share your experience in the comments. Someone out there might be waiting to hear your story. And what if what seems like rejection is really the universe clearing space for something extraordinary? We'll unveil a form of envy that watches in silence, waiting. Have you ever felt lost, disconnected from who you really are? I created 3 transformative ebooks to help you reconnect with your true essence. Click on the link in the pinned comment and begin your transformation now. There are those who disappear from your presence, yet somehow seem to know everything about your path. This is the paradox of envy. It avoids the light but cannot resist its warmth. Even in absence, their energy lingers, observing from shadows, fed by a curiosity that's less admiration and more fear of being left behind. They won't ask, but they'll know. They won't support, but they'll scroll through every trace of your becoming. Secrecy becomes their cloak, and surveillance their silent ritual, an invisible tether tied not to love, but to an anxious need for comparison. It's a quiet form of manipulation, masked as detachment, but it vibrates with an undeniable tension. This behavior doesn't speak of you, it speaks of their own attachment to who you were, not who you're becoming. Their silence is not peace, but resistance. Your transformation unsettles them, and so they watch, not to celebrate, but to measure the distance growing between your frequency and theirs. Spiritual practice suggestion: burn a white candle while repeating, "I release all unseen eyes and reclaim my sacred space." Imagine golden light forming a shield around you, soft but impenetrable. Community call. Have you ever sensed someone watching your journey from afar but never offering true support? Reflect in the comments. What did your intuition tell you? What if those who vanish when you rise were never meant to walk beside you? We uncover the energies that cling under the guise of closeness. Did you enjoy the content and it made a difference for you? Click on Super Thanks and support our work. Not all who cling do so from love. Some stay close not to support your flight, but to anchor your wings. Their presence feels warm at first, intimate, concerned, but over time it becomes heavy. What you thought was affection reveals itself as a web of manipulation, spun delicately from their own insecurity. They may offer help only to demand your loyalty, remind you of your flaws just as you rise, or use vulnerability as currency to bind your energy to theirs. It's a sacred warning. Not all emotional ties are soul connections. Some are cords of attachment woven through fear of being left behind as your spirit awakens. Their love might sound like support, but feels like control. They disguise it well, cloaked in phrases like, "I'm just looking out for you," when in truth they fear your independence. In your rising, they see their stagnation, and instead of rising with you, they attempt to pull you down to a reality that no longer fits. Spiritual practice. Suggestion: perform a cord-cutting meditation. Visualize any draining connection as a black thread tied to your body. With breath and intention, imagine severing it with a blade of light. Whisper, "I return to myself." Community call. Have you ever mistaken control for care? Drop a comment below. Your reflection might help someone else break free from a bond that no longer serves them. And if love can disguise control, how else might false allies appear? We'll unravel the silent pain of being unacknowledged, even by those closest to us. There are times when your spirit begins to blossom, new achievements, new light. And yet, those closest to you remain silent. No celebration, no word, just stillness. And in that silence, something stings. It's the wound of being unseen, a shadow called lack of acknowledgement that whispers, "You're not worth the applause." This isn't about vanity, it's about resonance. When your frequency rises and others pretend not to notice, it creates a dissonance that your heart can feel. These silences are not empty, they're filled with jealousy, quiet envy, or unspoken discomfort with your glow. Their lack of words is not absence, it's resistance, but you must know this: your soul's unfolding doesn't need permission to shine. Even when others undervalue your triumphs, the universe watches and rejoices. Their inability to clap doesn't diminish your music, it simply reveals that your light has outgrown their comfort. And that is divine alignment, not loss. Spiritual practice suggestion. At sunset, write your recent achievements on slips of paper and place them under a crystal or glass of water. Whisper, "I honor myself even when others forget." Let the sun energize what they ignored. Community call. Have you ever reached a milestone and felt the void of silence from those you expected joy from? Tell us in the comments how you found peace in your own recognition. But if they won't celebrate you, what else might they do? We peer into the subtle daggers of criticism and the alchemy of reclaiming your power. There are wounds that don't bleed, but bruise the soul. A simple comment, a half smile followed by, "You just got lucky." These aren't innocent remarks. They are veiled criticism, quiet tools of belittlement used by those who fear your expansion. When they can't match your light, they try to shrink it. It comes subtly, laughing at your dreams, questioning your decisions, or reminding you of your past every time you rise. These words carry energy, and that energy whispers, "Don't go too far ahead." But remember, those who try to undermine your growth are often reflecting their own inner prisons. In the language of spirit, every word spoken over you is a seed. Some try to plant doubt, hoping it takes root in your confidence. But your soul knows better. You are not here to shrink into comfort. You are here to expand into truth, no matter how softly they try to fold you back into silence. Spiritual practice. Suggestion: light a black candle and speak aloud the words you've heard that tried to diminish you. Then declare, "These do not belong to me," and blow the candle out, releasing them into the void. Community call. Have you ever been diminished by someone's words right after sharing something important? Comment below how you reclaimed your voice and space. If words can cut, imagine what silence in moments of victory truly means. We explore friendships that vanish when the sun starts shining on you. There's a sacred kind of loneliness that comes not from being alone, but from realizing who leaves when your light begins to rise. These are the fair-weather friendships, the ones that disappear when your life no longer reflects their comfort. When your victories cast shadows they're not ready to face. They were there when you were struggling, nodding with empathy, supporting the version of you that made them feel strong. But the moment you stepped into your power, they faded, slowly, without explanation, like mist in morning light. This isn't betrayal, it's clarity. And clarity is a divine gift of the awakened path. Understand, they weren't aligned with your essence, only your pain. When the spiritual awakening comes, it doesn't just show you new light, it reveals the truth in old connections. And sometimes that truth is this: your journey now walks where they cannot follow. Spiritual practice suggestion: write the names of those who've drifted as you've grown. Thank them silently for the role they played in your earlier chapters, then release their names into flowing water, letting go with love. Community call. Have you experienced a shift in your friendships as you evolved? Drop a comment and share how you've navigated that sacred solitude. But not all departures are silent. Some stay, only to criticize every step. We enter the storm of constant judgment and how to find stillness within. Some people speak not to guide, but to wound with precision. Their words drip slowly, daily, tiny echoes of "you're not enough," disguised as concern. Constant criticism is not always loud. Often it's whispered just beneath your victories, trying to anchor you to doubt before you lift off. These criticisms rarely come from malice alone. They are reflections of insecure behaviors, fear masked as advice, and inner wounds seeking control. You rise, they react. You glow, they squint. It's not that you're too much. It's that your light exposes what they've refused to heal in themselves. But a soul in alignment doesn't need approval. You are here to evolve, not to appease. And the more you resist their judgments, the more you reclaim your voice. Each time you choose stillness over reaction, you create a sanctuary where their words no longer echo, where your truth becomes louder than their fear. Spiritual practice. Suggestion: sit in silence and envision a mirror in front of you. Speak each criticism you've heard, then shatter the mirror in your mind. Replace it with one made of gold, where only your truth is reflected. Community call. Have you been surrounded by constant nitpicking or judgment? Share how you've preserved your energy and reclaimed your self-worth. But what happens when the criticism becomes something deeper? An irrational dislike with no clear cause. We uncover the hidden roots of animosity. There are moments when someone's eyes carry a storm, even if you've offered them nothing but peace. You feel it, a coldness, a shift in their tone, a tension in the air. This is the energy of unjustified dislike, a reaction not to what you've done, but to what you've become. It may come as animosity, quiet avoidance, or offhand comments that seem misplaced. But it isn't personal, it's spiritual. Your inner peace, your awakening, disturbs the parts of them that are still asleep. You mirror a version of themselves they haven't dared to meet yet, and for that, they resist you. Understand this. Not every soul is ready to face the reflection your light creates. Their criticism, their distance, it's about their discomfort, not your essence. And in that knowing you find liberation. You don't need to fix what they haven't healed. Spiritual practice suggestion. Under the night sky, speak aloud. I release the need to be understood by those not meant to see me. Let the stars carry that truth into the vastness. Community call. Have you ever felt disliked for simply existing in your truth? Share your story. Your presence might bring clarity to someone walking through the same shadows. Now that we've seen the many faces of jealousy, how do we protect our sacred energy from it? We'll uncover the keys to resilience and inner peace. The soul doesn't need armor made of steel. It needs boundaries woven with light. When faced with jealousy, manipulation, or belittling, the most powerful response isn't confrontation, but realignment. Protecting your inner peace is an act of spiritual responsibility, returning to yourself every time someone tries to pull you out of alignment. Not everyone deserves access to your sacred energy. Let silence be your shield and detachment your path. Refuse to engage in battles that are born from others' unhealed wounds. When you center your focus on love, joy, and self-awareness, you become resilient, not because life becomes easier, but because your spirit becomes unshakable. This is the wisdom of the awakened, to walk with compassion but without compromising your truth, to allow others their shadows while you honor your light, and above all to understand that your resilience is not in how much you fight, but in how gracefully you rise, again and again, undisturbed. Spiritual practice suggestion: begin your day with a breath ritual. Inhale peace, exhale judgment. Whisper, I am sovereign. My energy is mine to protect. Let this be your invisible cloak throughout the day. Community call. What's one powerful way you've protected your peace on your journey? Share it in the comments. It might be the encouragement someone else needs right now. Have you ever walked into a room and felt the air change? Smiles that don't reach the eyes, compliments that land hollow. That quiet discomfort might not be your imagination. It could be envy, cloaked in politeness. When your spirit begins to rise, not everyone will rise with you. This video will reveal 9 powerful signs that someone may be secretly jealous of your spiritual awakening, and how understanding these signs can help you reclaim your energy, protect your peace, and stay true to your path. If envy reveals who you are becoming, what if you could choose exactly who to become by shifting your focus? In the next video, you'll uncover the hidden law that quietly shapes your entire reality. Master it, and everything changes.